What does Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, and Darth Vader have to do with your happiness? So, there's a clue in my next question. Why is it that sometimes, completely out of the blue, you can have someone come along and just dump their frustration and anger on you? You could just be getting on with your daily life, minding your own business, and totally out of context, someone shows up in your space, vomits their venom on you, and leaves you dumbstruck, wondering what the hell just happened. Most of us know at least one or two people like that, usually a lot more besides, who dump their frustration and anger so routinely, like it's their God-given right. So much so that it's just impossible to have a functional relationship with them. And they'll tell you somehow that it's your fault that their life is as miserable as it is. In this video, I'm going to share with you why people dump their life's frustration on others, and the single most thing that you must do in order to have a life of true inner freedom and happiness. Freedom from that shit. I'm Smita. For 25 years, I worked internationally with well-known corporates and startups, winning large-scale multi-million-dollar technology deals. Alongside of my corporate career, I've been a transformation coach, a yoga teacher, and the author of an Amazon bestseller called The Karma and Diamonds Trilogy. It's a gripping journey of self-discovery across continents and lifetimes. On this channel, we bring you inspiration, insights, and tools to forward your self-discovery journey into freedom and thriving, being the best you. So what is it that has someone, especially in their time of deep stress and upset, and moments when life isn't working out for them, make you or someone else the villain of their story? Psychologists call this projection. We project out and create an antagonist that we have to slay. But what's actually happening is that we're really dealing with aspects inside of our own selves. We're fighting our own selves. We're fighting with the parts of us that we're unwilling to own, the parts of us that we detest so much that we can't be with them. We can't be with them to the extent that we have to disown them and we have to project them onto others, making others the antagonist, the villain of our story. That way, we can be the good guy and make the other person the reason for our unhappiness. Joseph Campbell, best known for his book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, talked a lot about slaying the dragon, the inner dragon. Now, George Lucas, the director of Star Wars, was greatly influenced by Joseph Campbell's paradigm. There's a scene in Star Wars that depicts brilliantly what I'm talking about. In this scene, Luke Skywalker has to go into a cave where he has to do battle with his archenemy, Darth Vader. Remember, Luke Skywalker has made it his entire life's mission to vanquish Darth Vader. On this occasion, he actually succeeds in cutting off Darth Vader's head. As Luke Skywalker chops off Darth Vader's head, it falls to the ground and rolls to Luke Skywalker's feet. Now remember that Darth Vader's face has never been seen by any of us. And when his head falls to the ground, his black helmet cracks open and breaks. And Luke Skywalker can actually see who Darth Vader is. And Luke Skywalker can actually now finally see who Darth Vader is. And what does he see inside Darth Vader's cracked helmet? Luke Skywalker sees nothing but his own face. His own face. So all the while, Luke Skywalker believed that he was fighting some great arch enemy, some evil antagonist, some harbinger of doom, only to realize in his moment, his great moment of victory, who has been fighting all along is his own shadow self. Luke Skywalker has been fighting someone who is merely a projection of his own disowned shadow self. All the while, he thinks that the evil he must conquer is outside of him. But we really want to believe that we are ourselves a good person. Well, we really want to believe that we ourselves are a good person, so we can't possibly have any negativity within us. We go to great lengths to disown those aspects of us that we cannot be with about ourselves. We shut them up, we lock them up, and we chuck them into the back and beyond of our psyche. And that's when those parts of us become orphans. Now, I've read a lot of Carl Jung through the years, and for me, Carl Jung explained this phenomenon the best. In his book, Psychology and Religion, he writes about how everyone has a shadow. He says, unfortunately, there can be no doubt that man is, on the whole, less good than he imagines himself or wants to be. Everyone, he says, carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. If an inferiority is conscious, one always has a chance to correct it, he says. Furthermore, it is constantly in contact with other interests, so that it is continually subject to modification. But if it's repressed and isolated from consciousness, it never gets corrected. So look, there is so much power in letting yourself feel those painful emotions. The more you allow yourself to feel them, and to feel them intensely, the less power they will have over you. In my books, The Calm and Dance Trilogy, I go into great depths about my own journey of wading through the most painful feelings brought about by traumatic circumstances. Feelings that I myself shut down as a child. For example, feelings of abandonment, which in turn gave rise to the hidden fear that I may never be accepted. What we're talking about here are unarticulated feelings that can be so almost too intense to bear. And like a backseat driver, these unarticulated jumble of emotions drive you right into materializing a self-fulfilling prophecy of the very thing that you're afraid of. Like Jung says, the less you are conscious about those painful aspects of your emotional landscape, the more disenfranchised those parts of you become, and the more they fester and take on a persona of their very, very own. They become your very own Darth Vader, a real person or people in your life, someone on whom you project your darkness, insisting that they are the reason for your failures and unhappiness, and you, the poor victim, at the mercy of their vengeance. Now, when in deep duda, I say, turn to the great sages of ancient India. What did they have to say about fear? They said, if you can bring into your full awareness the very thing that you most fear, if you can stay with it, fully, intensely feel it, then it will vanish. Feel it fully, without resistance. Embrace the unembraceable. That means embrace fully your Darth Vader. And the thing that you cannot be with will disappear. Held in its fullness, it will take just one solitary moment to disappear. You will then transcend that which has held you captive for ages, and you'll be freed from its grip forever. Joseph Campbell's phrase that I remember the most is, follow your bliss. And where did he get this idea from? He said he got this idea from India's ancient text called the Upanishads. He said, I came to this idea of bliss because in Sanskrit, which is the great spiritual language of the world, there are 3 terms that represent the brink, the jumping off place to the ocean of transcendence. And those 3 words are Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means being, Chit means consciousness, and Anand means bliss or rapture. I interpret Satchit Ananda to mean who you are in your true state is bliss consciousness. To step into that place of wholeness, we absolutely have to own not just our greatness, but our shadow. Realizing that others are merely enacting the disowned parts of you, then you can take responsibility for those parts of you that are imperfect, those parts of you that you hate in others. You're then starting to integrate your shadow self. And that's when you can begin to sense what's on the other side of your ego and identity. You sense the light of your true self bursting through the crevices of your humanity. Sat Chit Ananda, the part of you that hangs out at all times in the rapture of bliss consciousness. Check out my video called The 90-Second Rule, in which I share a simple 3-step process to master your emotions. Watch a short video called The 5 Steps to Heal the Pain of Toxic Rejection to move you into higher levels of peace and inner freedom. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And leave me a comment if there's one thing that you could do to transform yourself to be happier. What would it be? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.